Good evening. It's Tuesday, April 22nd. This is the Ward Planning Commission, and we're having a public hearing. I'd like to open the public hearing now at 6:30. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak for or against it?
I'll speak for it. I'm Tommy Bond, and I'm hired to speak for it. And it's a nice development. It's 9 duplexes on a relatively large lot. I think it was 3-point-something acres, and makes a real nice layout. That's a spam call. Y'all don't get any of those, do you? But be glad to try to answer any questions. I think it meets all of your requirements. We've worked with Bruce on the water and the sewer. And other than that, it's really a nice little layout.
What about the retention pond that you have, or the small retention that you have?
Yes, sir. That's to minimize the runoff in the area, and it'll be maintained by the development.
What's the average rainfall for this area?
Hey, Butch, can we ask these questions during the actual regular meeting, and then we'll just have the public hearing now? Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak on this issue? Thank you, sir. All right. Please come up and state your name and address.
My name is William Morris. I live at 12 Deerfield Drive. I have 3 or 4 questions. One, how is this going to affect my property values? 2, if you have an engineer or somebody that can attest to some of this, what are you going to do with the ditch behind my house? When they put the subdivision across the street from me, they destroyed that ditch behind the person that Greg Hunter, who lives across from me. They went through there and they destroyed that ditch. Tore up cable lines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then his drainage has never been the same since back there. So we would like to preserve our side of that property line and not have because the drainage works really well behind that area. And we want to make sure that if there's anything done to that it's rectified and repaired accordingly to what it was before anything's happened. And I've seen a very small, not detailed diagram of this facility. Is there anybody that could show me one?
Right here.
Can I roll it up?
Sure. Let's ask you this, which, 12 Deerfield, in relationship to this?
We're right in here.
You're right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my thing is if we have good drainage now on the front and the back, we want to make sure that topographical layout from south to north, it is not disturbed as much as possible.
What's going right here?
That's the
No, right here. Right here.
That's a little retention pond for the increase in rain runoff from the buildings. That pond holds it and lets it drain off slowly.
Oh, that is a pond.
Yeah, that's a little, and it's like,
That's not there right now, is
no,
it?
well, it's kind of a low place there, and it'll be about maybe a foot deep. It won't be, and it'll be dry.
Now, if it gets water in it, are they going to treat it for mosquito larvae?
Well, it should drain off immediately, and there shouldn't be water standing in it other than just immediately after the rain.
Retention ponds are designed to take the water and slowly drain it into the soil in the area where the retention pond is, so it doesn't harbor mosquitoes. It's not going to be standing water all the time.
So now here's a future question. Okay. Because I used to work in an engineering field. All right, he thinks so. Appreciate it. Because there's gonna be a lot of, you're gonna have the ball field or the sewage treatment plant entrance, you're gonna have the second Deerfield Drive, you're gonna have the first Deerfield Drive, and then you're gonna have the development drive, okay? In the future, do we need to anticipate that there was gonna be a stoplight or something in there?
I can address that. Probably not.
Probably not.
It took 14 years, no, what was it, 14 years? Something like that, to get this stoplight out here after many, many years of study. There's currently a study going on about 38 and 319. One on 367 near that. I don't believe you're gonna see that in, it's not, it wouldn't be planned. Now, having said that, if we get a lot of traffic in there, we'll contact RDOT and say, we got lots of traffic, let's do a traffic study, see what the issue is, and how we're gonna rectify it. But that's 367 is a state highway.
Right.
That's their responsibility, but we can ask for it if we get the traffic pattern that would require.
Because you're gonna have what, 9 units in there?
Yeah, 9 units. That's
You're gonna have at least 2 or 3 cars in each one.
I got a 500 unit coming up on Moon Road.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be worse.
I just have a few concerns, to be honest with you. Nothing that's dire, but I think there's some issues that need to be addressed and looked into for the future. Especially if you're gonna, I don't know, say commission, or do construction projects that impact the area. Because that's going to impact not only my street, but it's going to impact 2 streets that run east to west. Another one runs north to south, and it's going to impact 3 or 4 streets that are going to be built, and there's going to be, what, 25, 30 more houses back on
Right. Deerfield?
Deerfield?
Yeah.
So you're talking, there's going to be a great impact on a lot of that residential area because of the traffic flow. And I'm not saying we shouldn't progress. I'm not saying that we shouldn't progress at all. Everybody has a right to live in a decent, affordable house. I just think there are some smart ways to think ahead, so that everybody can live in relatively peace and comfort, and make sure that because as property owners and I ain't speaking for everybody because I don't know what everybody would say in Deerfield Estates, but as property owners, we don't want to be territorial, and we don't want to say, hey, we're the ones being impacted. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we've lived there a long time, and when we make changes, we want to make sure that those changes are fruitful and aesthetic for everybody. The folks that move into those apartments, the folks that live behind them in the subdivision, and obviously the town's going to make good money off the apartments because you're going to make money off of people that live there, buy cars, pay taxes on those cars. What is it, $35 a year, Mayor, or per car?
I don't know, for personal property taxes?
Yeah.
Don't get it, I don't know.
It was $25 when I bought my car.
Okay.
Okay, but I didn't buy it Ward, so I don't know.
Okay.
But just, I say that to be mindful of what we do.
Yes, sir. And we'll address all these concerns in the regular meeting with the staff and the developer.
So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to come up and speak? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:39 and open the regular meeting call to order at 6:39. Would anyone like to say the prayer? We'll stand, remove hats, and say the prayer. Can you do it, Mayor, please? Thank you.
Lord, as we come forward this evening, we give thanks to be able to gather and discuss the city's business. We ask you to be in our hearts and our minds as we discuss the city's business and do what is fruitful and progressive and right for the city. And we ask these things as we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please, Brittany?
Here.
Here.
Harry Price,
Here.
Helen Hewitt. Here.
Here. We have a quorum. Let's go ahead and get into the approval of the prior meeting minutes. Any discussion? Okay, I'll take a vote to approve.
Make a motion that we approve them as written.
Second, okay. Brittany? All right, all who approve, say aye. Aye. Any noes? Okay. Now, old business, the mayor for the UDO.
As y'all recall, we've had a couple of weeks of public involvement, public participation. We've had the map up and asked people to, through Facebook media and then other places, to come and give comment on the proposed rezoning map. We have no comments that were proposed to us. And so the next thing we can do is the public hearings. One of them is tomorrow night from 5 to 7, and I'll host those. And then Sunday from 3 to 5. We'll have a public hearing in here on the rezoning map. Our next step is to start looking at the UDO itself. And how would you like to do it? Would you like to schedule this meeting with additional time set aside, or would you like to have separate meetings when we go through things, or how would you like to do this? And I hope you have been reading the UDO in its entirety. There's a lot. What would you all like to do?
Would you like to add it on to our regular meetings or create separate meetings for us to discuss it?
What we could do is add it to the regular meeting after the regular meeting, then go into a UDO planning session.
I'm good with that. Are y'all okay with that? Okay, yeah, then
So
we'll do that.
Next meeting, we'll start with the regular meeting and then terminate it and then open it up for the workshop, basically, on
Okay.
that. Okay.
Sounds good.
If I can go ahead and discuss another thing,
Yes,
kind of new
please.
item. Mr. Jerry Peters is no longer with the commission. Aaron is the vice chair. I would encourage you to, somebody make a motion and ask Aaron to be the chairman of this commission going forward.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any negatives? Okay,
And we will announce an opening for Mr. Peters' position. I'm also going to declare that Mike Kendall hasn't been here in 4 months. We're going to send him a letter, and I'm removing him from the commission also, and we'll put a request out for people to join the commission. So if you'd like to join the planning commission, there's openings. And that's all I have right now.
I would also entertain a motion for a vice chairman to be elected. Does anybody want to nominate someone? If not, I'd like to nominate Helen Hewitt. Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay.
Nomination cease.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's move on to new business. Brookfield subdivision, Lot 1, site plan, Bond Consulting Engineers.
Well, we met with the staff last week, I believe it was last Tuesday, and we made all the changes that the staff requested. I think that had to do with a water line relocation and a installation of another fire hydrant. And other than that, I think that was all that the staff had asked us to change.
Bruce, you want to come up and tell us?
Yeah, basically, there was, here along 367, it's actually a 2-inch water line, and it originally showed it tying into that. And what we would like to do is, you could take that 6-inch, extend it down to there.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's there and it's there, just not in this gap.
We're coming probably a third of the way already, so that's not an issue.
Yep, and that's really all I had, and of course the hydrant, which has been resolved.
We had one hydrant, and now we got two. We got one where you come in and one at the end.
And the other question, Tommy, is there existing easement there where you're tying into the sewer there?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
It's a recorded easement on the original plat. And we're gonna bore
Bore
that.
it.
We're not gonna tear the people's yard. Well, we'll have to dig up by the manhole to tie it in, but we're gonna bore through the yards and not tear anything up there.
Are you going to have silt fences in place to create a border?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
we'll have a erosion control plan.
Which we do have,
Right.
showing all those areas. So
Thank you.
that's all I got.
Any discussion or questions from the board?
May I talk now? Okay. I see where the drainage, you have the drainage retention pond located, but what I saw on the rough was like 0.5 feet. Is the depth of this retention pond?
No, sir. It's about a foot deep at the most. It's just a little old.
Well, 0.5 is not a foot.
Whoa, I'm sorry. You said 0.5. I thought
Yeah.
you said 5.
I didn't see a foot, and I
No.
saw 0.5.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what's
it's
the-
relatively shallow.
Yeah. What's the average rainfall for this area now?
Well, we use a 8-inch rainfall, which is probably pretty close to a 50-year flood
Okay,
event.
all right. Okay, all right.
That's the design. We use 8-inch per hour.
The duplexes, 2, 4, you got 5 parking spots at each duplex?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the only retention pond you have?
Well, we're gonna have another slight one in
Yeah.
the far northern one there. There's a little depression back there.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so is there any other discussion or questions? Sorry, the public hearing's closed now. Do you have any concerns about the traffic coming in? And have y'all done a traffic study or anything?
No, no, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. With that small of a,
That small, I would, well, there's 9 units, and there's 9 duplex, would be 18 units, and if each, and I think they're 2-bedroom, so that would be 36 cars. I don't think that's a significant amount of increase in the traffic. Now, obviously, it is an increase, but.
right, all right, thank you.
And the street it'll be a standard city street in front of all this, 27 foot.
Okay,
And just to confirm on that retention pond, that is a 3,500, correct? Size
Tell you the truth, I don't remember. It's
And just to repeat that question so everybody can hear it, we just wanted to confirm that retention pond was a 30 by 100.
yes, sir.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the one at the north corner, yes.
Okay.
That's our calculation.
Thank you.
Anything else from the board before we call for a vote to approve the site plan? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, Brittany?
Yes.
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 Motion has been approved. Is there any other new business that we need to discuss? If not, I'll move on to announcements. We have the zoning map public hearing tomorrow night, April 23rd, from 5 to 7 p.m., and that's here in this room, correct? Thank you, Mayor. And then Spring Cleanup Day is April 27th. That's a Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's a good post on Facebook about where to drive to drop your things off. The zoning map public hearing for the second one will be April 28th. That's 3 to 5. And then movies in the park, May 4th. Ward Annual Fishing Derby will be May 11th at 8 a.m. Meet the Machines, May 19th. Can you explain what that is, please, Mayor Gastineau?
We have a great park and recreation director. She's getting all kinds of things going. But Meet the Machines, she wants to bring out the street department vehicles, the dump trucks. She's bringing in, I think, a semi from Stallion up in BB. The trash truck's going to be there. They'll have the concession stand open. But the idea is to get kids out there to meet the machines and maybe spark their interest in some type of vocationary drive later on. But, you know, kids love machines. And so it's just another public thing that Michelle's getting going. And she just, I mean, look, half of things on this list is hers.
Okay, that sounds like fun for the kids, for sure. City Council meeting, the next one will be May 21st at 6:30 p.m. City Hall will be closed in observance of Memorial Day on May 27th, and our next Planning Commission, therefore, has been moved to May 28th at 6:30 p.m.
I'll add two more if you don't mind. On the 21st of May, before the City Council meeting at 5:30, there'll be a public hearing on, what is that public hearing? I forget now. I'm drawing a blank. The one at 6 is going to be on a enclave annexation. And I cannot remember what the one at 5:30 is for life of me right now. We'll get it out on Facebook and everything. It probably already is, but there's a public hearing at 5:30 on something. I can't remember right now.
Okay, is there anything else the board would like to share? If not, I'll entertain a motion to dismiss.
Motion to go home.
Second? Is there? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion has been carried and the meeting is closed.